All right, we're going to take you through the process. Okay. And I want so everybody can kind of see what an ATP even kind of sounds like. Yeah? Yeah, so you can hear what messaging sounds like. Okay. So tell me a little bit about the scenario you imagine with your ideal client. Like, what did they go through? Like, what's the issue that just kind of cinched it for them to give you a call? Or you hold your mic down.
They basically had this thing of, I've had it. I can't keep doing this. I don't know if it's the people in my life that, it must be them. They need to change. But the secret voice that says, nope, it's me. I'm broken. There's something wrong with me. Everyone tells me I'm stupid or broken, and I guess I have to change. But really it's them, but really it's me. And they kind of...
So what happened that made them start thinking about it? I mean, were they cooking their pork chop?
No.
And they burned it, and then it just went down. What happened?
So they were either at their desk or at their job and made yet another mistake because of their ADHD that they've been hiding from everyone.
Okay.
Or they screamed at their kids on the way to school because they were feeling anxious and tense. No one could find their shoes. They were late again, and they thought, I'm just the worst parent. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I should never have had kids.
Oh, that connects. Okay. Glad I booked a hotel room last night. Okay, so is a common thread amongst those two scenarios that the ADHD is there and stuff? Is it all kind of the struggling, or?
It tends to be the ADHD, but it's also, I work at the intersection of ADHD and trauma.
Okay,
because they look so alike.
This is Miranda's wheelhouse,
yeah.
I'm a geek. That's what I did my thesis on back in the day.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So, all right, so we have a scenario of what's going on, all right? And we know kind of emotionally it's, I've had enough. What else, what is emotionally, internally, what kind of emotions, other emotions come up for them? Anything
Overwhelmed.
Else? Mm-hmm.
Shame. So much shame. Confusion. Not sure where to start, and hopelessness, and anxious.
Okay, all right. And then what is it like to be with you? Like, what makes you different?
It sounds so canned. I'm non-judgmental.
Well, I'm going to help you dig beneath that. Okay.
Okay.
That's lovely. Don't judge me. But,
right.
Okay, so you're non-judgmental. Why do you like working with ADHD and trauma? That's kind of big.
Because I know it, I've lived it, I've seen it, I've felt it.
Okay. And in the room, what's it like to be with you? Like, what do your clients say?
They love my office because I have a big, comfy sectional couch, and I encourage people to just get comfortable. I have all kinds of fuzzy pillows and other textiles and stuff. And there's a coffee table there, which is partly for people to be able to work on with worksheets and stuff, but also my clients need a little space. They need to know that they're safe behind that coffee table, that I'm not going to get all touchy-feely and all up in their pain too quickly. They need to be over here.
I don't get up in your pain too quickly. That's a great tagline. Okay. Okay. What other questions do you have, Miranda, for her before we put it together?
I think one of the questions regarding that is when you were talking about worksheets and things like that, like, is it more stuff that happens during the session? Are you coming up with a plan with them? Are you doing homework? Like, what is that like dynamic look in how you sort of work with them?
Oftentimes, my clients are either so dysregulated from trauma or from anxiety or from ADHD, they struggle with listening and being present. I have 2 whiteboards in my office, and I'm constantly pulling them out and drawing terrible pictures of brains that don't look like anything, but to try and help put it into a visual medium that they can connect with. So sometimes we give like a worksheet or something to be able to say, like, I know your brain is spinning right now. I can see you disconnecting because of the ADHD or dissociating because of the trauma. And
okay, so I just want to say, when we asked her, what's different about you in the room, what was her first answer? I'm non-judgmental. Awesome. Isn't this cool? Do you guys all have whiteboards and draw brains? I mean, I don't. Maybe some of you do, but that's pretty cool. That's something different, yes? Below the judgmental. Like, that's okay. We should all We should all strive for that. And then this stuff is cool.
I help you understand how your brain works and how to harness it to have the kind of life you want.
So you can focus and listen and not be running around feeling anxious all the time. Okay.
One of the things I do is, because I can't draw a brain, I do the Dan Siegel thing, which you guys know this one, right? So I tell people, your limbic system's in here and your thinking brain is up here. And so when you lose yourself, you can't think. So if you're screaming at your kids to get their shoes on and tomorrow you better remember this, they're not going to remember this because you're screaming at them. So this is all lit up. And the next day, they're still looking for their shoes.
And that place of helping them understand how their brain works and how their family and friends and coworkers' brains work so that they can change the way that they interact in their environment, but also get the impact that they want from other people as well. These are things that make big differences in the way that the mornings go, right? How does it feel to notice this and to even hear me reflect back in different words what you do? How did that feel in this moment?
Sometimes I feel like I can't say it as clearly as you just said it.
Okay, so this is the other part. I think that I'm so glad you said that, because we don't like to talk about ourselves. We'd rather listen. All day long we listen to other people. We don't hopefully we're not sitting back and saying, let me tell you about me, right? That's just not what we do. And so when we start trying to think of how to articulate this, it's foreign, right? It's not like, it's like being in front of these big spotlights. It doesn't feel very comfortable, right? So I think that I'm really glad you're sharing that so other people can hear, this is part of the process, is kind of, okay, I see that it's uncomfortable, and I'm still going to talk about it because people need to know. Because now I know, where do you live?
In La Crescenta.
Okay, so in La Crescenta. So if anybody is in that Pasadena, Glendale, La Crescenta area, right?
Very good.
And you get something that, like somebody who needs help with their ADHD, who are you going to remember? Or you have to consult.
Sure. My name is Amarette Kaufman. It's like amaretto without the O.
Okay. And I think some of that, I'm not used to talking about myself, clouds that you're actually very articulate about yourself. And I'm hearing lots of good stuff. So we're going to take your words, and then now we're going to put it into that message. Do you want to do it?
No.
Oh, great. So in boot camp, what we do is people, they fill out these forms and stuff, and then they take a crack at it, and then they post it. And then Miranda and I, will provide feedback or rewrites for their, messaging. So I'm used to typing it and not
Me
speaking
too.
it
That
out
was
loud.
exactly my thought, and I'm the writer over
Watch
the
me.
speaker.
I'm going to do it. Okay. Yes, say one more thing.
Often the issues I see are either epigenetic or intergenerational, meaning there's a lot of shame and blame where the person's trying to hide. They're either trying to hide, no one in my family knows I'm ADHD, no one in my family knows I'm gay, no one in my family knows I've ever been raped. They're hiding all that shame, and it's a lot of those patterns in the family system that repeat. And so I do a lot of, we could do a genogram and blame your parents, and then we turn and blame their parents, and then we turn and blame their parents. And so I talk a lot about, it's not about blame or shame. Just no shame, no blame. Let's just be here.
Okay. Cool. All right. Okay, here we go. All right. So you land on someone's website. You land on her website. And it says, from the beginning of the day to the end of the day, you feel like you're running around constantly. You keep making little mistakes. You scream at your kids. It's all you can do to hold it together, to get to the next day, to do it all again. People think that you're doing all right, but that's because you're double checking everything, you're anxious all the time, and constantly worrying about all the details, and you still miss things. There's so much about you that people don't know because you hold it in, afraid that they won't love you if they really knew the truth. I help people who struggle with their past, who struggle to stay organized and to stay present in their relationships, to listen and actually really enjoy what's happening around them, to understand their brain, to get some tools to calm themselves down, to talk about the things that nobody knows about so that they get rid of the shame and the blame. If you struggle with ADHD, anxiety, or past traumas, I'm here to help. Okay, so do you see? I think I used a lot of your words. Yes, I don't think I made up a whole lot, right? And those are your words. Now, as compared to, I'm a non-judgmental therapist who works with ADHD and trauma-ridden people. I help people understand their brain and the epigenetics of trauma, right?
Intergenerational shame.
Sign me up. Okay, so do you see? You actually, those are your words.
You got me all.
Oh, that's lovely. I mean, that's you're really clear about what you do and what you love. You know your shit, so that's why it makes this pretty easy. Am I allowed to say that? Sorry.
Yeah, you did. We can't stop you. You can't stop us.
Goodbye, NBCC credits for cursing. Okay, so.
How does it feel to hear that?
I got all verklempt, if I can borrow from the Yiddish. I mean, you just nailed it. You nailed me. You nailed like half my client base. You completely
nailed
spoke
it.
to.
We just put in a little formula, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So can we give a hand for her? Thank you for being vulnerable. Yay!